It's time for a little history lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever heard of the Prohibition era? You probably have. But for those of you who haven't heard of the Prohibition era, let me go ahead and tell you. It's an era that started in January the 17th of 1920, but of course ended on December 5th of 1933, which essentially was a ban on alcohol. You could not get alcohol at your local grocery store, at your gas station, alright? If you wanted alcohol, you might as well go to a speakeasy. Yes, there you go. I still remember speakeasy, which was like a hidden bar, right? So bars back then, they were non-existent because once again, alcohol was fucking banned. Now, in my opinion, prohibition was a pretty good idea, right? Because a lot of people were getting drunk, a lot of people were dying, you know, a lot of wives are getting their asses kicked by their husbands because they're coming home in a furious rage of drunkenness. So yeah, prohibition sounded pretty good, but unfortunately, when actually practiced, it just ended in more chaos and more lawlessness, if you will. Gangsters popped out of goddamn nowhere, alright? They just used that shit. They smuggled in illegal alcohol. Who would have imagined that? Illegal alcohol. Back in the 1920s it was. God motherfucking damn. They would go about selling this illegal alcohol to people who are willing to pay for a premium price, alright? But the problem with the alcohol, it was extremely strong, alright? Very, very, very strong. You took like 2 sips and you're already up in heaven, alright? It got a little too ridiculous. And of course, Congress saw this. Well, not Congress. I think maybe President Roosevelt or Teddy. I don't remember. I'm not good with my history either. He was like, yeah, this was a terrible idea. Let's go ahead and end prohibition and let these fuckers drink once again. And now we're allowed to drink, and there's more what do you call it? More variables, not variables, varieties, there you go, of alcohol. So you can have something that's soft or something medium. If you want something to kick your ass, you can have that as well. But again, back in Prohibition, that was not a thing. It was all just alcohol that will literally kick the living shit out of you. Because that was the only option that you had. Now, why the hell did I talk about Prohibition for like 3 minutes? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Prohibition failed in a grandiose way because it denied humans the right of choice. It denied humans the right to drink and to be merry. Sure, there are problems with alcohol, but to outright ban it was a huge mistake. Instead of fixing the problem, it made the problem even worse. So that's why, if you want something to be solved, instead of trying to ban the substance, you might want to, you know, get more people out there to be more educated about the substance, like, you know, marijuana. Marijuana, in my opinion, should be, you know, not criminalized. It should be decriminalized. There we go. Okay, I'm a smart boy. I know how to use my goddamn words. Marijuana should be decriminalized, alright? It should be legal. People should have choices in what marijuana they want to smoke today, what edibles they want, alright? Of course, it could be controlled by the FDA. I'm absolutely fine with that. But at the end of the day, it should not be illegal. It should not be banned. But ladies and gentlemen, the main subject of this video does not pertain about alcohol, does not pertain about marijuana. It pertains about something that you wouldn't really necessarily think until now, unfortunately. Because Congress right now, the Senate, the goddamn Senate has been doing some interesting moves. Pretty old, very conservative, very prehistoric moves, not gonna lie. To give you one grand example is the DMCA issue right now, where you could potentially go to fucking prison for breaking the DMCA, which is so fucking ridiculous. But again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a soft ban. Yes, a soft ban on smut, which might occur with the SISEA bill. Now, when I was traversing through Twitter, you know, doing my thing, looking at the quirky memes, I stumbled upon this thread that greatly concerned me for multiple reasons. But the thread was made by Anna by AC Values or Vales. I don't Valens. I don't know. I'll leave the entire thread in the description of this video, right? But what I read was very concerning. Let me go ahead and read you the beginning here. By popular request, I am compiling a master post on the SISEA, the bipartisan bill by Senate SISEA or something, and Senate Jeff McClunky, something like that. McClunky. We're gonna call him McClunky. That would purge porn from social media and devastate sex workers' income during a pandemic. Now, with this bill, it has a lot of points. I'm going to read you a couple of them. Actually, I might read all of them for you, the one that that she's listed in this thread. So let's just go ahead and dive right in it. A wide variety of intended restrictions and stipulations on adult platforms includes the following. Now, here's the deal. I said, like 3 seconds ago, maybe 10 seconds ago, that this is a soft ban on porn. I gotta make myself very clear here, alright? That's my opinion on what they're trying to do here. But what they're saying, what they're doing, is they're not outright banning porn, but they're just adding more restrictions and stipulations to the whole thing so everyone can be safer. But I will get into why it's a soft ban on porn. So let's go ahead and read the points here. It requires any user uploading a video to the platform to verify their identity. Requires any user uploading a video to be a platform also upload a signed consent form from every individual appearing in the video. You can already tell this is too fucking strict. I mean, just from the second point alone, I mean, we barely got, started with this shit, but you can already tell this is already goddamn strict. Creates a private right of action against an uploader who uploads a pornographic image without the consent of an individual featured in the image. Require platforms hosting pornography include a notice or banner on the website instructing how an individual can request removal of a video if an individual has not consented to it being uploaded on the platform. Prohibits video downloads from these platforms to be in place within 3 months of enactment of this legislation. Requires platforms hosting pornography after a 24-hour hotline staffed by the platform. Individuals who contact the hotline can request removal of a video that has been distributed without their consent. Requires removal of flagged videos as quickly as possible, but not to exceed 2 hours. Requires platforms to use software to block a video from being re-uploaded after the removal. The platforms must have the software in place within 6 months of enactment of this legislation. Directs the Federal Trade Commission to enforce violations of these requirements. Creates a database of individuals that have indicted? I don't know how to say that, but of course you're reading this on the screen, so don't worry, you can read it for yourself because I guarantee some of you can read this better than me. They do not consent. The database must be checked against before new content can be uploaded to the platforms. Instructs the Department of Justice to promulgate rules on which this database should be housed and determine how to connect these victims with services to include concealing and casework. Failure to comply with these requirements will result in a civil penalty of the platform, with proceeds going towards victim services. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after reading all of that, and again, just by reading the second point, you can already tell this is too goddamn strict, alright? And this bill right now is being, processed. Well, not processed, it's gonna be voted on, I assume. Yes, I believe the post says it will be, voted on. Because if I said that it was processed, then that would indicate that the bill was already voted and that it's, it's going through it right now, I would assume. I don't know. I don't know, but from what I can remember, I think it's still being voted on. So there's a chance that this will not pass, and hopefully it won't pass. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to the point where I think that this legislation, this bipartisan bill, the SISEA bill, is a soft ban on porn. Alright, so again, this isn't an outright ban on porn because I believe the politicians are smarter than this, right? They're a little smarter than this, because if they outright banned porn, woo, like what happened with prohibition, it would not solve the problem, but in fact, make it even worse. So instead of just outright banning it, they're like, you know what? You can still do it, but we gotta have some restrictions. And obviously, the restrictions that they placed on this on this bill is a little too much. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with this, right, is the platforms that they speak of, any platform, any fucking platform that allows pornography on their platform, yeah, they're gonna have to answer. If I'm not correct, if I don't read this correctly, the I guess the Federal Trade Commission, or they have to follow these rules in general. They have to follow these rules, which will be very time-consuming. To go back here, it requires platforms hosting pornography to offer a 24-hour hotline staffed by the platform. Individuals who contact the hotline can request removal of a video that has been distributed without their consent. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. That shit's gonna cost fucking money. I mean, in one way, it sounds nice. It's like, oh, that sounds pretty good. But I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a trap. I mean, it's no surprise that companies are very focused on money, and this is going to lose companies a lot of money. So what they're probably going to do, say Twitter, I'm going to give Twitter an example here. If they have to do this, if this bill passes, they're just going to straight up just take away all the fucking porn. They're going to purge all the pornography out of its website so they don't have to deal with it, and they'll just say themselves, look here, motherfucker. You can't jerk off here anymore. You can't post your smut here anymore, bitch. You dumbass coomer. Get the fuck out of here. We don't wanna deal with your bullshit anymore, alright? Fuck off. And that's what other platforms are going to do as well. OnlyFans is also going to be affected by this in some way, shape, or form. Well, not some way. It's gonna be directly affected by this, obviously, because it's gonna require a lot of rules to follow and shit like that, which will probably cost money, and we'll see if they actually want to do it, because again, at the end of the day, this will probably cost them a lot of manpower that they probably can't, especially during the pandemic. So they're probably just gonna be like, you know what, we're just gonna call it a day, pack it home, and just get the fuck out of here. So for the quote-unquote, I'm just gonna call them what I think they are, for the whores that use OnlyFans, that's a big issue for them, right? That's a big issue tissue for them. For the whores that use Twitter, the poster assholes on Twitter. For the the pornographic artists, the artist that draws NSFW, that posts on Twitter or on some platform, other platforms that hosts smut, they're in trouble. They're in trouble, and that is a huge issue tissue, all right? In my opinion, that's a huge tissue for them, because they're getting money out of this. And right, you might say to yourselves, I mean, who fucking cares? You should care, because in this pandemic, in this situation right now, in any situation, good or bad, these people are depending on their bodies and their skills to draw, entertain some way, because if there's a supply, there's a demand. And you might say to yourself, but this isn't honest work, Rigozen. There's no such thing as honest work. I'm sorry to break this to you, it really isn't. Sure, there's some work that should be frowned upon, like sex trafficking. That's a big no-no. Some people might say that's work, but I don't think so. No, it's terrible. But like I said before, there is no such thing as honest work. But we can have morals, we can, absolutely. But I think posting pictures of your asshole or your tits or your dick, or drawing dicks and assholes and tits on Twitter or something like that, should be allowed, honestly. Even though I don't necessarily respect whores on OnlyFans, they shouldn't be denied. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a terrible bill. This should not go through. If you are very concerned about this, might I suggest calling your local senator, your state senator, shit like that. Call Congress or whatever. If you go through the thread, it'll specifically tell you what you can do to stop this bill, because again, this will be very detrimental to a lot of people who are doing everything right, in the sense of like they're not doing anything illegal. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. You want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified of my next upload. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.